For clarity, when I started Phaser, it was in 2019 and ran it on the side as a side hustle. And you don't know what you're doing at that time. I still don't. I really liked business too. I was doing a lot of flipping with Craigslist deals. I would buy things like a dirt bike and put a coat of paint on it, then sell it for more money, and kind of realized you can pave your own path and you can make your own money in this life. Honestly, when I graduated college, I started applying for jobs all over the country and I could not get a job.
Every career opportunity is a stepping stone, or even if you feel called to start your own thing, right? And it's a calling, definitely, right? I don't think it's for everyone.
Your mindset of why you're doing it should be anchored in something more than just trying to make money. If you're just trying to chase revenue, you're never going to be satisfied.
The more value you give, everything else will follow.
You want to get the fire burning first before you pour the gasoline on it. Because if you don't have the fire burning first, you're just going to pour the gas on the dirt. And that's how I look at business. But then there is now a potential, and I haven't talked about this yet, so this is breaking news.
All right, welcome to the Go Accomplish More podcast, where we interview successful agency owners, partners, team members, and those individuals that are doing amazing things. And today we have Luke Egerbaum. He is the founder and CEO of Phaser Marketing, a digital marketing agency that's changing the game for the excavation and construction world, right? Also known as the dirt world. Luke's on a mission to help blue-collar business owners grow through modern marketing, strong systems, and real relationships. He's also the host of the Dirtbags podcast, which I find very interesting. I love the name. We're going to ask him questions about that, where he interviews builders and entrepreneurs making a difference in the trade. Known for his authentic, high-energy leadership style, Luke believes business should be built on trust, freedom, and purpose, like myself. Luke, welcome to the show.
John, thank you so much. That was an unbelievable intro. I might steal that and start using that for my other intros.
Anyways, well, we want to jump right in. And first, we want to say thank you for being on the show. I think that a lot of the listeners are going to gain a lot of valuable content from you, valuable insights. And I'm super excited to have you once again. So
yeah, John, thank you so much. I know through the years, and we'll dive into it too, you and I have been growing our businesses together, and we currently work together as well. So I just appreciate you so much for having me on the show, and I'm super excited to dive into it.
Awesome. So you've built a business around the dirt world. What does that mean? How did you find that niche?
For clarity, when I started Phaser, it was in 2019 and really started out like most agencies, digital marketing for small businesses, and ran it on the side as a side hustle until about 2021 when I left my job and went into it full time. And it was around then, luckily, that I found the seven-figure agency. So I was pretty new into it full time. For some context, I went full time with Phaser in August of 2021, and I went to my first marketing agency intensive in Miami in November of that year. So what really helped me there is they sat me down and they're like, "All right, Luke, let's take a look at your agency." And you don't know what you're doing at that time. I still don't, but it's especially at that time, I was just bright-eyed, bushy-tail, and we'll do whatever other people are doing as they recommend it. So what they said was, okay, Luke, to be successful in this agency, you're going to have to niche down. And I know you talk about it a lot and we talk about it a lot. And it really made a lot of sense to me. I had already read Josh's book, The Seven-Figure Agency Roadmap. And at that time, we were already serving a more blue collar niche. We had an excavation company. We had a oil field company, a garage door company, and really a few other companies, landscaping, lawn care. And we had those companies, and I was like, okay, I really like working with these people. And so as they asked me, what is your niche? I said, okay, our niche is going to be digital marketing for blue collar companies. And they said, not going to work. I'm like, okay, it's way too broad, I guess. So, okay, let me think. Digital marketing for construction companies. Same thing. They said, nope, not going to work, because you think of construction, could be drywall, could be roofing, could
100%.
be flooring, could be anything. And then I was like, okay, this makes sense. Digital marketing for excavation companies. And really what that entails is what we call the dirt world. And it's a term coined by somebody else in the industry, Aaron Witt with BuildWitt. And what I loved is the dirt world consists of really companies that are moving dirt, and we call it horizontal construction. And they are doing septic systems, utilities, water lines, sewer lines. Also, we do work with hardscapers that are doing full backyard transformations. So when you think of a company that's going to go out and dig, that is the company we work with.
That's amazing. And that proves it that there's so many niches out there that actually work, right? If you're solving a need for them, it's going to work. If you are the go-to person, the go-to expert in that niche, that's the reason why Josh is very popular, right? Yeah. He teaches that, right? In his mastermind group, correct?
What they've built in the community is 300 plus digital marketing agency owners from all levels, from beginning, starting out to 8-figure agencies and everything in between. So you just don't find that community many other places. And also that's where you and I got to meet years ago. So it's been an absolute journey. Some of my best friends, mentors, coaches, and just memories come from that group. And I can't say enough about them. And I see we both have our plaques behind us.
Exactly. And what made you, let's turn a little bit, like what made you get into building a marketing agency? I know you worked for, you were director of marketing. What made you take the leap?
So I'll go back a little bit. So I graduated from college in 2018, and I graduated with a sport management degree, which of course I was going to be the GM of the Minnesota Vikings or be the GM of the Minnesota Wild, or I had big dreams. And then as I started working in the industry in internships, I realized, okay, maybe I'm just a fan of sports and maybe I could do other work and just buy tickets and go to these games. And so I was definitely interested in the promotional aspect, in the event management aspect, maybe the marketing aspect. I really liked business too. I was doing a lot of flipping with Craigslist deals. I would buy things like a dirt bike and put a coat of paint on it, then sell it for more money, and kind of realized you can pave your own path and you can make your own money in this life. And so that started to interest me. And then honestly, when I graduated college, it was 2018. It was a hot job market. I started applying for jobs all over the country, and I could not get a job. Like, I don't know what it was. I was like, man, I have a good head on my shoulders. I feel like I have a degree. I'm hungry for it. I just need the opportunity. And it was about 75 job applications later, in just a tough time, but I learned a lot through that time. Then my wife had graduated at the same time, my wife Olivia, and she decided to get her MBA in Omaha, Nebraska. So then I started pointing my search towards Nebraska, or I found this opportunity at a company called Braces Omaha, and small orthodontic practice. So there's 5 people, and I was one of the 5. And they hired me. It really was a treatment coordinator role, but I really wanted more of the marketing piece. And so negotiated with my boss, Dr. Stevens, who is one of my all-time great friends and mentors. And he let me change it to director of marketing because I knew that in the future I could potentially use that. But what really got me thinking and starting in the agency world is when I started that job in 2018, part of my role was to be the liaison and the point of contact for their marketing agency, who's based out of California, who coincidentally did digital marketing for orthodontic practices only. And there's 3 things I noticed because I didn't really know what I was doing either. Number 1, they made me look like a superstar because they were doing all the work and our business and practice was booming, and I got to take a lot of the credit, which isn't fair, but it's like when you're the quote marketing guy in the company, being the liaison, sometimes you get a lot of the praise when they were doing a lot of the work. So that was awesome. Number 2 was they were so personable. I felt like they were my best friends. I had never even met them in person. And the third thing is, we were also paying them a lot of money, but we were excited to because we could see the return on the investment. And with those 3 things, I just thought, I feel like I should do one of these myself. Like this seems like such a great opportunity and such a great business. So then a few months later, leading into October 2019, that's when we got the LLC papers back for Phaser Marketing. But I did want to make a commitment that I wouldn't pay myself a penny out of it until the opportunity came to go full time. So that allowed me 2 years of reps and grinding in the trenches on lunch breaks and nights and weekends and just enjoying that journey. And then when we did go full time, was able to pay myself a little bit of a paycheck consistently.
Wow, that's so great. And I think every career opportunity is a stepping stone, whether you're going to get promoted right to the next position, or even if you feel called to start your own thing, right? And it's a calling, definitely, right? I don't think it's for everyone. And you made that decision and it turned out great, right? It's one of those things where you don't know what's ahead of you. And once you do it, you're like, wow, it's a great choice, I guess, right? And sometimes we learn because sometimes we make a decision and then it's not the right decision, right?
Yeah. And you mentioned it earlier in your question of when did I take the leap? I can honestly say it didn't feel like a big leap because as you heard, it was 2 years of kind of building it on the side and I wasn't paying myself out of the business and I had a full-time job. So my goal with that was just to pull this proverbial boat up closer to the dock. So I wasn't taking a giant leap across shark infested waters, but was taking a step onto this boat. And that's not right for everybody. I understand that. But for me, that's what I was most comfortable with. I was confident in my ability to build a business, but also I didn't know how long it would take to be able to provide for Olivia and myself and while she was also working. So I think for me, that was what I was most comfortable with is like, hey, I'm fine with grinding on the nights and weekends. I would rather do that and keep the profits in the business. And then maybe one day when I can go full time, then we'll start paying myself. But to me, that was a little bit more of a fun challenge and had my, a little bit more of that delayed gratification, I guess, as well.
I love it. Let's talk a little bit about your niche, right? What's the biggest marketing gap you see in the construction and excavation space right now?
It's interesting. So most agencies that I know that serve other industries, when they get a client, they've typically been with other agencies before. That's just very common, like to switch agencies. Where I would say probably 80 to 90% of the clients we get have never worked with a marketing agency. When they come to work with us, there's a whole lot of education and trust that we've been building up with them, maybe without us even knowing it through the years. I'm not trying to put ourselves on a pedestal, but making sure that like, hey, we are the leaders in this industry when it comes to giving value and education for free. And so we've done that through our podcast, through our webinars, through our book, through all these other assets that you also do, so that they feel more comfortable of who they're working with, not what they're getting. And they can trust the people behind Phaser, the trust that they have in us to continue innovating and adapting for the industry. And what that's done then is the forward-thinking business leaders in the excavation space, we've been blessed to get to work with them. And that's also stemming from us saying no to clients who might not be a good fit. And I think clients that, or I should say people that might not match up with our core values. So we're big on hiring and firing based on our core values, and also bringing on clients and firing clients based on our core values. And because when we look at our team, and it's our clients and our team members, it's not just our team members. So it's everyone. And I'm sure we'll get into this too, but that's also our vendors we work with, like GoStaffy, they're a part of our team as well. And so taking a holistic view of that and making sure that we're serving this industry the best way we know how, they see that as, okay, whatever they're going to do for us, they know that we have their best interests in mind. And so a big piece of that is they know we can be a filter for them of, there's a lot of shiny objects out there with AI, with marketing, with people trying to sell them things, but they know that we can be a trusted source for, hey, if they were scamming people and screwing people over the last 6 years, we probably would have heard of it, because the excavation space is a very small, tight-knit group. And I feel like we've built really good trust with the companies in this industry.
You're in it, right? And they feel like, okay, Luke understands me. And I feel, do you think that most agencies that are in that niche, that are not doing the podcast, they're not doing the building relationship, will struggle versus your agency?
What I think is probably the biggest struggle that I see in other maybe agency owners is the short game. Like they think it's going to be, we're not getting any leads, we're not getting any clients. and we take a look at the numbers, and it's like, we've been in business for 9 months, or you've been serving this industry for 14 months. And then I think what helps is, I feel like we've been on an amazing growth curve that we feel so blessed with, and seemingly we're getting lucky and all of these things. But if you look at the numbers, like, it took 3 years to get 10 clients. Like, it took a very long time. So I think just expectations maybe. And nowadays we want things to happen now. And I think people in the industry can see that and smell that. And if you're just here for the cash grab, they know that. But if they can sense that, hey, they're showing up at meetings, they're showing up for me and my company, they're showing up for my friends in the industry, and they're here to stay for decades and for generations, they can see that as well. And so I think it's the commitment to the niche where, like, for us, we're not switching, and people know that. And we've invested too much time, money, and resources. That's one part of it. But the other part is they can feel our passion for the industry, and you can't fake that.
That's so good. That's so good. I mean, I'm a huge advocate on playing the long game, right? And there's a lot of people that when they start, let's say when they start their personal brand, right? There's a lot of agencies that they're getting into personal branding, and they quit after like 10 videos or 15 videos. And they're like, no, you got to do 500 videos and just continue. And you're going to put your name out there. Yes, you're not going to see it. And, as you're doing those videos, you're not going to get a ton of views. You're not going to get like a ton of appointments, but you're actually practicing yourself to become a better communicator, and you're giving value to the world. But it takes time. It's a long game, right?
Yeah. And there's so many thoughts I just had in that one sentence you spewed out there. It's Atomic Habits. So a great book, I believe, James Clear. And just the delayed gratification that comes to like these habits, and also the expectation that we talked about. So you could apply this to the podcast, to creating content, to getting these reps for sales and leads and everything like that. But also too, I'm a big advocate and fan for writing handwritten cards and handwritten notes.
Love that.
And it's not like you just write 30 in a day or in a weekend and then expect this huge rush of whatever you're trying to look for. Really, it's not that. It should be an internal perspective as well of like, hey, I'm practicing gratitude for myself, for the wonderful people that are in my life. And I'm really not doing this for myself. I'm doing it for them. And when you have that mindset and you build it through a positive habit, it stacks over time. And yes, there is a positive outcome from that, but it's also, if that's not your goal, your mindset of why you're doing it should be anchored in something more than just trying to make money. And so whether it's your podcast, whether it's your content you're putting out, the strategy sessions, the handwritten cards, if you're just trying to chase revenue, you're never going to be satisfied, and it's never going to work. So making sure that you're anchored in more of a true why of why you're doing this, why you're writing the Freedom Agency book, why you're building GoStaffy, why you're building Phaser Marketing, that will help fuel these positive habits that will then seemingly stack, and people take care of people.
We got to focus on giving value. And I always tell that to my team. The more value you give, everything else will follow. Relationships, revenue, everything. And you just got to continue giving value. So let's turn the tables now and talk a little bit about strategies, right? A lot of people are hearing this podcast. We have agency owners. Maybe we have a lot of your people, your niche, and they want to hear some strategies and systems, right? And advice, right? So you've built a 3-phase model, right? Which is set the foundation, grow your brand, and dominate your market. Can you walk us through it on how that works and why it's so effective for your clients?
Absolutely. So the biggest thing, and when you asked earlier about maybe the digital marketing gap, or what is the gap with our industry, and this is probably relevant for all industries, is you can't build a skyscraper on loose sand. And so you have to start with a solid foundation. And the nice part is our clients understand that, because they're in excavation. They dig basement footers and everything. So it's just, we start with that. You always need to set the foundation. And for my viewpoint, and for our team's viewpoint, and our principle, that always starts with the website, the Google business profile, and you could even throw SEO in there, because I'm a big fan of organic. Like, no matter what, we need to build organically first. That is phase one. We need to set a solid foundation. Let's go through and optimize everything. Let's get a good foundation. Let's get a good starting point. Then we can build up from there. Our phase two program, and typically this is where you see a 7-figure company, let's say 1.2 million. They're starting to like, yep, we got some good things in place. We're starting to look at maybe hiring an operations manager, different roles like that start to come into play. That's where we like to pour some gas on it. And so for us, that's where we like to add in and introduce paid ads campaigns. And I know a lot of agencies do it the opposite, and that there's no right or wrong.
For those quick wins, right? For those quick wins, I know. Yeah.
I should clarify too. We do Google LSAs in our phase one. So that's a good like foundational quick wins for us to get the phone ringing. But in phase two, that's really where we recommend some bigger campaigns and strategies. And it's not all digital. We love direct mail campaigns. We love some meta campaigns, testing it against some pay-per-click campaigns, and of course our LSAs that we have running. So the way we like to do it is, or the way I like to say is, you want to get the fire burning first before you pour the gasoline on it. Because if you don't have the fire burning first, you're just going to pour the gas on the dirt. And that's how I look at business. I want to build it up organically because in the next 5 years, ideally we don't have to run any paid ads. And it's just coming through brand recognition, through organics, through their brand positioning, through their owner. And I know you talk about that in your book. I just read it last night, how the owner and the founder can be the rocket fuel for their business. And so I got it right here just in case we need to, just in case there's a test after this. But yeah, and so that would be more of our phase two. It's like, okay, yep, we're adding in the paid ads campaign. And I hate to jump back to phase one again, but a big piece of phase one also is our graphic design portion. So we clean up everything from their Facebook headers, their invoice stock sheets, their everything that goes into graphics. We like to clean that up for them and get a good foundation. So jumping into phase two, that's where we pour some gasoline in there. Let's see if we can get more awareness. Let's see if we can hire more people through some hiring campaigns. Let's see if we can generate more leads. Let's scale these two pieces together. And then really phase three is the dominate your market. That is, what other levers can we pull? And the exciting thing with that is we're kind of working on a new phase three coming in 2026. It includes some things we've never offered before, which is very exciting. Obviously, there's a whole lot of things going on with AI that we're excited to introduce to our clients and continuously upgrade. But then there is now a potential, and I haven't talked about this yet, so this is breaking news, and it's not for sure yet, but we're potentially offering back in our organic social media strategies for our clients because there's such a big SEO factor to it now, where AI and Google is now using social media as more of a signal. And so we see this as we want to get back into this game here. And to be honest, historically, it's something I haven't enjoyed because I always think you yourself should be running your social media. But now that there's a big strategy with it, I see how we could really help our clients. And then with that, there's potentially an option for us twice a year or 3 times a year to come out and shoot content for our social media strategy, for our SEO strategy, for our GBP and everything like that. So we're going to package it all together into a phase 3 program, which would be our highest ticket, probably somewhere around that $4,500 a month.
Love it.
Something like that.
You know what? And I think that as agency owners, I always say this, that we need to become a consultant, right?
Yes.
And not just, okay, I'm the paid ads agency or I'm the SEO agency. No, you're a consultant and your account manager knows what your client is going through, what their needs are. And once you understand those needs, you can come in and say, hey, you know what? We can offer this AI tool that is going to help your industry on this. And that's going to create better retention, right? Because you're coming there as a consultant, kind of like that doctor, that functional medicine doctor, where you come and visit that doctor and you're like, I don't know what's going on. I'm getting a ton of headaches. My immune system, I think, is out of whack. What do you think it is? Instead of giving just medicine, they find the root problem and they say, hey, I think you're deficient in vitamin D or something like that, right? So I think as agency owners, we need to be that consultant, right? Would you agree that more than ever now with so many tools out there, AI, automations, we need to be the forefront for our clients so that they can trust us and say, hey, I think this is the direction you need to go, right? Would you agree?
1000% spot on. And Tim Shermack said it best as well at one of our 7FA intensives. And he basically said, you can't just be the paid ads guy or the SEO agency. You have to be a marketing problem solver for these clients and for your companies, and really serve them in that way where you're always innovating, you're always adapting. And hey, we're not just a one trick pony, or hey, we're only SEO, we're only paid ads, or we're only those two. It's we are your consultants. We are your marketing problem solvers. We are dedicated to continuously change, but also filter out what you don't need and make sure that we set you up for success. And that will improve retention dramatically, because that is a long-term plan and a solution for these clients, and making sure that they see, hey, this isn't, I'm going to jump to every agency every 3 months. But when they find who they want to work with, which is whoever's listening to this, you need to be that person in that team that they're going to join this adventure with you through all the ups and the downs, and that you guys are going to be there for them to solve these problems, marketing related. And that's what we need to be. That's what our standard needs to be, because unfortunately the marketing industry gets very watered down from new experts that can do Facebook ads better and guarantee all these leads in 90 days and all of this. But to be honest, kind of like I mentioned earlier, a lot of these companies can smell that and see that, and it becomes desperation. And those are probably not the companies you want to work with anyway. You want to work with the person who's looking for a partnership, a long-term vision with an agency that they trust.
And let me ask you, I know there's a lot of agencies that are looking for that one thing. Hey, Luke, like, what's that one thing that I can do that's going to really help me scale to the next level? What has that been? I mean, has there been one thing? Has there been two things that just stand out that has allowed you to scale rapidly the last 2-3 years?
Man, yes, there's been a lot, but there's been a few front runners, I would say. And you mentioned them in your book. So first of all, if anyone hasn't read John's book, The Freedom Agency, read that. Second, a couple things that have undoubtedly, because we're in our sixth year of business now this month, and what I've noticed is empathy. So caring for your clients, which are the people that you're bringing into your company to work with you, and that you're the clients that are paying you money. So caring for them, for their family members, for their spouses, for their kids, empathy. A couple ways that we do that, and you can do it, is, try sending them something on their anniversary from you, not... this is one of my favorites. I think somebody from 7FA teaches it, maybe it's Josh, but not just sending something on Christmas. And I just think it's brilliant, because everyone sends something on Christmas, all your vendors, all your clients, everything. And so can we pick a random date on the calendar and send them something meaningful? That will stand out so much more than the Christmas ham or the Christmas cookies. And you can still do that. That's still great. But finding something where you can make an impact. And strategically, how we do this is, so there's the human element, but then there's a system element to it. So as a system and a process, we have what's called like a Phaser PTO calendar. That's where we see everyone's PTO. That's where we see birthdays internally. That's where we see anniversaries for our clients. But that's also where we can add in our clients' business anniversary, like when they started their company. If there's anniversaries of our clients and their spouse, if there's a kindergartner, their son starting kindergarten, different things like that, where it's like, I see this calendar, and it's kind of open air for anyone on our team to add anything in. And so that is our foundation of, okay, our team knows, be quick on the trigger when it comes to sending gifts, no matter what. We don't have to get it approved. Just do it, send it, and then let me know how much it was.
And who's aware of this is usually the account manager, I'm guessing, right? That
exactly. Yep. So your account managers, but really anyone within the company has the right to see them on social media or see something. It's kind of that see something, say something. If you see, hey, our client's wife just had a brain tumor removed and she's 29 years old, and that could be our paid ad specialist saying, hey, I just saw this. Are we already doing something for them? And then right away, we'll send them flowers. We'll send them something. And we've done that. And in many cases, and that specific case, 29-year-old spouse had a brain tumor, had it removed. We sent, I don't know, it was probably $100 or $150 bouquet of flowers, like
Wow.
not too big of a deal. And she had I think a 3 or 6 month recovery ahead. And so this is her husband's marketing agency that works with them, so it's kind of distant. And she said that we were the only ones that sent flowers, not even her,
Wow.
not even her work sent anything. And it's those moments, it's those quick on the trigger, just taking care of your people decisions that you don't even have to make anymore. It's just automatic. And so I'd say that by far number one is we're not doing it strategically to get more clients. We're not doing it strategically to improve our retention rate. We're just taking care of our people that work with us. And the more you focus on that and the people and the kind of the set it and forget it on the money, like, hey, the money's already there, whatever. Let's focus on the people. That, in my opinion, will take us to that next level as well. And anyone just starting out and at any stage will take you to the next level.
Wow, this is so good. I was talking with that the other day with a friend of mine that also has an agency, and we were talking about the same thing. Like, hey, we don't focus on money. Like, I don't focus on money anymore. And I was explaining to him that I had a meeting with my team, and I was explaining to them that in Go Staffy, whenever we hire someone, we're not just impacting one person, or impacting their brother, their mom, their dad, or if they go to a church or if they go to any organization, now they have the money to be impactful. So one person can literally translate to 7 to 10 people that you're impacting. The same with you, like all the team members you're employing, right? If we look at it that way and we're like, man, we're making an impact. Like, it's not just 10 or 20 people that are working with us, but multiplied times 5 or 10 times, that's 100. That's a 100-fold impact, right? And I think that's what makes me get up and do what I do, right? And the same with you. And I think when you focus your mindset on that, like, everything else is just going to be a byproduct of what you're already doing, right?
Absolutely. And what I love to say on that all the time is focus on building one fan at a time. And that is just whether it's a team member, a team member's family member, some random person you bump into, a client, whatever it is, whoever it is, when you're having that conversation with them, when you have the opportunity to mail them something, whatever it is, how do you want them to associate with your company? Is this just another company, or is this, wow, like, they blew me away? I'm a really big fan of John and the Go Staffy team, or I'm a really big fan of Luke and the Phaser team, and whatever they want or need, like, I'll support it. And that's the thing, is just like the support you can get from not just the industry you're trying to serve, but from everyone. And how can you build that one fan at a time and really focus on them, and not to, like I said, not to get more money or get less money or any of this. It's not about that. It's to build a company and to build value for people, because it spiderwebs into so many people that you employ, that their families, their friends, their energy, and then your clients, and down the line. I mean, the list goes on and on.
That's so good. I can talk about this forever. I love culture, and that's part of our core values, like empathy. So that's amazing. Okay, so now I want to get into, I'm a big advocate on mindset. I really believe that how we grow determines on how big our mindset is, and how we think where our company's going to go, and how we think of ourselves and whatnot. So you're passionate about helping blue collar entrepreneurs find both success and balance, right? But what does freedom look like for you today, right now?
It's why we do a lot of what we do, is not just for me to have some freedom, but for our team, for our clients. Because when you look at money, especially, money is a tool, and you can't deny that you need money to pay your bills, to keep the lights on, to feed your family. And when it comes to freedom, I would love to get to a point, and our clients would love to get to a point, and our team would love to get to a point where we don't have to worry about money, and not in a, we're all millionaires status, but we just don't have to stress about the bills. And so when it comes to freedom for myself, it is so that I can do what I want to do, not what I have to do. And so for me, what I love to do and what I want to do is I love business. I love my role at Phaser. I love that visionary, the podcasting, the building teams. To me, it's like a game, like a fun game that also sucks sometimes. But that's part of the challenge that I really enjoy. But with freedom, I can't do that if I can't keep my lights on, because I need to do some of the things I have to do that people require of me to do because I don't have a choice. And so freedom to me is being able to provide myself, my family, our team, and our clients with a choice to do what they want to do. The great thing with that is almost every single person in our circle, our team, our clients are very high performers. They are driven. They are lifelong learners. That's one of our core values. They are pushing themselves to be the best version of themselves they can be. And so when it comes to freedom, it typically doesn't look like sitting on a beach for 30 years and doing nothing. And it typically looks like, okay, what do I want to do with my life? And how do I continue to serve God? How do I continue to serve my team, our clients, the industry? It's like a whole nother gear you can hit when you have that freedom. And you mentioned it, John, of money. You don't think about money as much anymore. And I would even say I've become so much less emotional to it. So if we get a new big client or we lose a client, it doesn't affect me emotionally when it comes to the money. And so I can really just focus on the people involved in those decisions. And I feel like I've had that for a long time. And it is because of so much of it is the mindset behind it of what we currently have, what we're blessed with, what we get to do. And then having a good plan forward to, take care of some of those other things so you can add more career paths into your business and you can offer this to other people. So yeah, man, freedom is such a deep topic for me. And I know it is for you as well, as you wrote a book on it. And it's just, I'd be curious from your perspective as well, like what your thoughts on freedom would be.
I think for me, I love business. I mean, I feel like I'm living a dream, right? I mean, honestly, I get up and I'm doing what I was called to do. In fact, and I'll share this, I'll get a little bit vulnerable, is in 2016, not many people know that. I think it's a little bit on the book, is I had an environmental illness that hit me really hard. And I got over it. It took me like 8 months to get over it. Thank God I was healed. God healed me and all that. But when I was going through that transition, the three things that I regretted were that I didn't travel enough with my wife, that I didn't record videos by all means, like videos and it's just any random videos to give passion or whatnot. And the third one, that I wasn't really involved that much with the community or with church, just in ministry. Those three things, I mean, that's all that I regretted. And when I got healed, I said, that's it. I'm going to just go after all this. I mean, this part of what I regretted. And I feel like I'm living a dream now. And I think freedom has to do, it's not necessarily money.
Yeah.
It's having, like you said earlier, having the ability that you can go travel with your kids or with your family or with your spouse. Having the ability that now you have maybe money as a resource that you can impact others. I mean, literally we've helped many people, for a vacation, like, hey, here, like you don't have money for a vacation, we're going to pay for it. Right. So I think in summary, I think freedom is, like you said earlier, is, I get to do this. I don't need to do it. Like it's something where you have the freedom to do it, versus if you didn't, you're forced to work anywhere because you need to provide for your family and you're just stuck in that 9-to-5 job that you might not like. Right.
Yeah. And just finding your passion and your calling and your people. And when you find those and you're doing it with them and you high performers and you guys are working together to accomplish a common goal and a mission that everyone is fired up about, it's a powerful thing. And you can build that as the owner of your agency. If you're listening, you can be that. If you're a part of an agency and you're listening to this podcast, it doesn't discriminate based on whether you're the owner or a team member. You can have freedom and you can 100%. Go get it. And a lot of it comes to your mindset and the culture of your team that you're working with.
We're trying to give more perks to the team, certain days off if they need to, build a structure where the company can scale and everyone could have a taste of freedom in their own world, right? And I think if you include everyone and you explain that, I think it's a magical thing, because a lot of times there's team members that are working in a company that they don't have no freedom at all, right?
Yeah.
And I think the culture has to, there's a big deal when you have a great culture, and I know you guys have an amazing culture. So
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, half of our team has come through Go Staffy. So we have 8 full-time team members right now. Want to give them a quick shout out. We have Matthias, Mel, Herman, Juana, Diego, Juan D, Carlos, and Juan P, our captain. I mean, those 8 make up half of our team, and we have 8 full-time in the US, and then I guess we have a little more than half, but 1 in Pakistan and then 1 in Serbia. And so the ability to build that culture doesn't just come from me. It comes from everyone that works with our agency. And so thank you guys for helping with that. But also we include you guys, Go Staffy, as part of our team as well, because we can't continue to grow and scale and have this culture without somebody that has our back. So definitely wanted to make sure, give a shout out to the team, and of course, Go Staffy.
Thank you so much. And like I said, we're a huge advocate on culture, on team building, and the proof is in the pudding, right? Whenever we hear testimonials of your team members saying, man, I love Luke, I love Phaser Marketing, you guys are doing something right? So I love when I hear, those great comments. So anyways, we want to get into some lightning round questions. So whatever comes to mind. And then after that, we're going to call it a day. But it's been great having you. It's been amazing.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to do my absolute best not to think about an answer and just fire away first thing that comes to my mind. So it might not be the right answer, but let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. So book or podcast that changed your life?
E-Myth Revisited, Michael E. Gerber.
Ooh, I love that. One daily habit or routine you can't live without?
Coffee.
Oh man, everyone says coffee. I
really?
love coffee
dang.
Too. That's fine. That's good.
So original.
Okay, biggest marketing myth you'd bust in the construction industry?
I think it's a marketing myth. The younger generation doesn't want to work. I'll use that as mine because it's very false, and they're
100%
hard workers. I will say this: there's lazy people in every generation. I've seen
100%, and I can attest to that for sure. If you lost everything today and had to rebuild Phaser Marketing from scratch, what's the first thing you do?
Get my pen, get a bunch of cards, start writing letters, telling people what I do, how I do it, post on free platforms like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and just start pushing that, telling people what we do, which is digital marketing for XYZ industry, which if I was starting over, I would do it for the exact same industry. The excavation space, pushing it out that way organically is one of my favorite things to do. And I would definitely tie in some type of giveaway. When I first started, we did a TV giveaway and did like a March Madness style. I flipped a coin for everyone that entered. And so trying to create some buzz, something different, something fun through social media, just to build up more hype and excitement and a following. But that's the first thing I would do.
I love it. Luke, it's been a pleasure having you on the Go Accomplish More podcast. Where can people connect with you, learn more about Phaser Marketing, or check out the Dirtbags podcast?
Yeah, please, if anyone's still listening, reach out to me on any of my social media accounts, Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Either my personal one, Luke Egebraten, or our business one, at Phaser Marketing. I manage both of them, so it's just me on there, and would love to hear from you. Of course, you can always go to our website, phasermarketing.com. If you're listening and you're in 7FA, let me know, because I go to Miami 3 times a year. Would love to see you in person. And then if you want to listen to our podcast, we have the Dirtbags podcast. We have our website, which is dirtbagspodcast.com, and then available on all streaming platforms. So yeah, would love to hear from anyone listening. And John, thank you so much for having me.
Love it. There's still one more question that I ask. So what's one final piece of advice you'd give to someone listening who wants to go accomplish more, both in business and in life?
Take what you do seriously, but don't take yourself too seriously.
Ooh, I love that. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks so much, Luke. It was a pleasure having you.
Thanks, John. You're the man.